Hello, guys. Welcome to Alchemizing Energy. Today we have a special guest, Jackie Gaines. We are going to talk about her book that she has out now. They said, wait, he said, she said, they said.
He
No.
thought, she thought,
He
he thought.
thought she said. You know when I say he said, they said, we said.
I'm killing you.
Alchemize your energy. Darling, let your spirit be free. Don't give up. Keep on pushing through. Now is the time. It's all up to you. Alchemize your energy. My friend, let your spirit be free. Don't give up. Keep on pushing through. Now is the time. It's all up to you. No matter the storm, but over tragedy. No matter the storm, but over tragedy. No matter the storm, we will always take flight. Keep on pushing through the darkness of night. There's no limit, let's reach for the sky. Shine so bright from darkness to light.
All right, we have Jackie Gaines here. This is it. He thought, she thought, they thought. Okay. This is her book that she has out right now. No need to cover your face up, your beautiful face, Jackie Gaines. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You look beautiful. I love your hair.
Thank you.
Man, I wish, you know what? I would love to go back to like the days of wearing the straight hair, but being a Risha priestess, I can't put perms and stuff in my hair. I can't color my hair. I'm so jealous. I'm looking at you like, man, I wish I could color my hair. I'm not allowed to color my hair, so but you're lucky. The cute
Thank you.
hairdos. So man, Jackie, tell us who you are. I put on there that you was a nurse. I put the wrong bio up there.
You
You're a
sure
nurse.
did. But it sounded good though.
Oh man, like you was a nurse. You was the head of the section at the hospital. You ran all type of stuff that wasn't even true. You guys, I made a mistake and grabbed the bio of a Jackie Gaines, but it's Jacqueline Gaines, not Jackie Gaines, and I grabbed the wrong bio.
My name is Jacqueline, but it's spelled differently than the one you had.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's your real background? Since we put the wrong one up there, let's get into your real. Who is Jackie Gaines?
I am a mother. I'm a grandmother. I am single right now, and I'm an author, a new author right now. And I have experience in the legal field. A lot of people don't know I'm a legal assistant, and I'm also a certified communication specialist right now.
Oh, you are like a legal assistant, like a paralegal?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm about to hit you up a few times. Well, you a paralegal? Hey, I should have been on that. I could have been hitting you up like, listen, I need you to help file some documents. Could you try to get these people, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know he did. I wanted to file a lawsuit against someone.
I'm trying to be quiet.
I don't talk about the legal field as much because what I do, I like to inspire other people. I mostly right now work with the youth right now. I do outreach, and like I said, I'm a certified communication specialist. I have 6 different certificates right now in communication specialists.
Man, you know what I'm saying? Are you like would you call yourself one of those lifetime students?
No, I wouldn't call myself lifetime, but it's all by learning because every day we learn something different. So I wouldn't say I'm a lifetime student, but I do have 6 different certificates in communication.
Oh, okay. You have your bachelor's degree?
And we were certified.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk about communications, is it more like for like radio or like just writing, like a journalist?
No, it's not writing like a journalist. It's to teach people diversity, how to get along in the workplace, in the school districts. We go a lot into the school districts and teach the children how to get along with others, peer pressure, bullying, stuff like that is what we do.
Now, the book you wrote was mainly like for teenagers, but it really could be applied for adults. What inspired you to write your book?
What inspired me to write my back, I want to say, started in 2008. I had hit a rough patch in my life, and I started to do a lot of meditation. I started to do a lot of daily quotes, and I was sending them out to like my friends and families that were in my contact list on my phone. And that's what started me on the journey to writing. That's how I started writing.
By the way, her book, the link to her book is in the actual description. And if any one of the moderators can get the link and post it up here so people can also see it. But the book is called
He thought, she thought, they thought.
He Thought, She Thought, They Thought. Because
Yes.
when I, it's interesting. I'm like thinking, why would it be he said, she said, they said, we said? That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking when you wrote this with that title. He said, she said, they said, we said. The next one should be he said. That should be part 2 is he said, they said, we
Well,
said.
there is going to be a part 2 to this.
Oh, okay.
What's the part? There will be a part 2 coming out.
So is the book mainly like a quotes and like, inspirational things for like people to like kind of get some inspiration as they're going through life?
Yes, it is. Like I said, when I first wrote the book, like I said, I hit a rough patch in my life around me. I want to say it started maybe in December of 2008 is when it started. And I did a lot of meditation, like I told you before. And it's mostly positive daily quotes. And there are some Bible verses in there as well. A lot of the quotes that's in that book are from me. And the ones that are not from me, I did cite my source.
What I love about the book is that you know how books you have like page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With this book, you don't really even need the numbers. It's like, I don't know. It's like whatever, like how you're feeling, you just get to a page. It's something for you, right? Whatever page you turn on to, it doesn't have to be, let me read the first page, second page. Like, it's like there is no order in the book. You get whatever you need out the book. It's like it's something for you, just like Maya Angelou had her quotes, and a lot of people, these are her quotes, right? Yeah. So it's very inspirational, and you get what you need. So you don't have to go. You don't need like a chapter, like chapter 1, 2, or pages. And I think that's what's great about the book, because it's like, okay, close your eyes and pick a page, and you'll be amazed that's what you needed at that time.
That's it.
So how long have you been a Christian? Are you a Christian?
Yes, I am. I've been a Christian since I was maybe 13. I was raised in Christian by my parents.
Did you get like saved at 13?
Yes, I was baptized by 13 years old.
Well, so you say you use like some Bible verses in there. There's like a lot of inspirational things in there. You said you went through a very hard time. Like, explain some of the hardships that you had to deal with, and the how you overcame them.
How I overcame a lot of the hardships that I went through. A lot of meditation, a lot of prayer. There was limited family that knew exactly what I was going through, because I basically went through this on my own. A lot of my family members don't know what I went through, and I have a large family. From Michigan all the way to Arkansas to Texas, a lot of them don't know what I went through. Things that a lot of people don't know. A lot of people in my church didn't even know what I was going through, because I basically kept it to myself, what I was going through at the time. And I just basically just started journaling and just started writing. That's exactly what started it. And
so did you want to talk about what you were going through at the time? Or is it like still kind of a pain point to talk about? Are you able to talk about it?
It's not a pain point to talk about. I know that it wasn't because of me, but it did affect me mentally, because it basically down. So that's what started this journaling. It broke me down. I got sick, and that's what started me to writing.
So was it a relationship? Was it like a financial hardship, or was it like
It was
a
oh yes, it was a financial hardship because a lot of people don't know. After I went through what I went through, there was times and periods that I didn't even know where my next meal was going to come from. Like I said, a lot of people that was I went to church with didn't even know what I was dealing with. A lot of family members didn't know exactly what I was dealing with. It was very painful because I was accused of something I didn't do. So that's what started it.
did you have to go to jail behind it?
Oh no, I never went to jail behind it. Never went to jail behind it because I work in the legal field, so no, I never went to jail behind it. No.
Oh, thank God. So like without prying too deeply, like so you were almost homeless, you almost lost everything from it. How did you get through? Like, how did you actually get past the like on the brink? Because I mean, I might be, listen, I've been homeless before.
Hmm.
I've had that same struggle, so I totally understand. And there
Yes,
becomes a time where you're just like, listen, I'm at my wits end, God. I don't know what I'm going to do. Explain that moment, how you felt.
I felt hopeless. I wasn't loved. Um, I had a lot of breakdowns during that period of time. There was a lot of things that happened to me. I wasn't homeless per se. I was never homeless. I was not about to be homeless, but there were a lot of times I couldn't even pay my bills because of the things I had to go through. Um, let's see how I could put this. I'm trying to think the best way to put it that's more understandable. Let's see.
This is
Let's
a
put it
safe.
this way. Let's put it this way. There was times that I didn't have hot water dealing with this issue that I was dealing with. So I had to spend money over here, which took money from another place. So let's put it like that. I was doing like the old people do back in the old days. I would have to boil my water in the morning to go take a bath. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah,
You had to
because
rob
I was
Peter
not
and
able to
give
pay some of my
Paul.
bills. I'm sorry.
You had to rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yes, I did. I did.
Honey, I'm doing that right now.
Yeah, that's a old. Now that's a when you said old saying. That's what I thought you was going to had to rob Peter to pay Paul.
I
But
did.
sometimes it's not exactly what we've been through.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's the point is what we're going through. Like it doesn't have to be I went through. It's still like let's say pain, right? It doesn't matter. We all can have pain. We don't, but pain is pain. It doesn't have to be, well, your pain is because of this. The point is, we all feel it, right? And then within the pain and within the hardships, these are some of your emotions. These are some of your feelings, right? Because sometimes when it's not because of you, it's like sometimes I get it to whereas you can't go into it in full because you have to get permission from other
Hmm.
people because other people are involved. So
Exactly.
you will have to get permission to say, hey, well, blah, 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 blah. So you got to put it in the best way that only it contains you, right?
Yes.
Unless, because once you start involving other people without permission, you can get in a lot of trouble, right?
Exactly.
But we can keep it on the pain and the hardships, right?
Hmm.
So at that point in time, you were living by yourself?
Yes, I was living by myself. Some days I didn't even know my next meal was going to come from dealing with this. I lost a lot of money behind the issue that I went through. Maybe I'm going to be honest. I'm giving you an honest number, almost $500,000 dealing with this situation I had to deal with.
Oh my God.
Whoa, goodness gracious. So was it people wasn't around because you did not let them in, or was you being ashamed, or was it because sometimes if you do believe in God, sometimes you do have to be in that space where he has to speak to you, like you said when you came out of it, let me write this journal or let me write this down, right? So
Hmm.
what was the reason that you feel that you were alone? Was that your own doing, or people just they live in their own lives, or you just like what was the reason why you feel that you were alone?
First of all, the reason I felt that I was alone because people were more concerned about their own lives, like you just said. So that was the reason. So what I did, I took the reins my own self. What started this, I have a very good friend. He stuck with me through this, and he's still my best friend to this day. His name is Dr. Peter Grimes. He is one of my church members, and we communicate because he's my super when we do the communication. He's the one that inspired me to write this book because, like I said, I close to my family and friends that was in my personal. He told me when I started sending those quotes out that I should put these in a format and put these in a book. At that time, I was still going through the motions of what I was through, so I was disobedient at that time. I didn't do that, so which enabled me to get behind when I books worth of quotes of my own. And so it took me a while. And something one day just sparked in me and said, go ahead and do this because I should. When he first told me to start these quotes and go ahead and put these in a book, that was around maybe I want to say 2012 is when he told me, but I did not at that time. So it took me a while to go ahead and get because I did not listen the first time when he told me that. I can honestly say out of everyone I dealt with, he was the one that was most in my corner. He still is to this day.
So, were you always the type of person who wrote stuff down, or is it because when you started going through what you was going through, you started like thinking of these coping mechanisms just so you could, okay, I'm going through this today. Let me say something positive, or was you always like that?
No, I never wrote stuff down until after I went through that rough patch in my life, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was there was days that I wouldn't even sleep maybe 2 or 3 hours a night because of what I was going through. And I never was the type of person that would write things down unless it was necessary at that time. But after I started going through that rough patch in my life, that's when I started to do a lot of journaling because I've never been a person that writes in journals until after I hit that rough patch in my life.
Was that also, well, I'm just going to say it in general, but I'm just going to say you, but in general, was that like a learning period for yourself also? Because like sometimes you think you know yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and you think you know your strengths, you think you know your weaknesses, but it takes something to shake you up
Oh, it
and say,
shook
wow,
me.
wow,
Yeah.
wow. Like, so what, how do you feel like the before you and what you thought about yourself before, and then after you came out on the other side, what did you learn about yourself?
What I learned about myself before I start there. Before I started, I doubted myself. Until he pounded me and go ahead and do this. I went ahead and put it into fruition. I found out that I'm more resilient than what I thought was, that I could stand anything. That's what I felt. Because at the time when I first went through this, I felt very helpless because nobody would listen to anything I would say. Like I said, I had a lot of church family members that they kept saying, well, I don't know how you're still standing because of what you're going through. Then I had some other church family members that said to me, well, what happened? But not one time did I have someone except Dr. Grimes stand with me and say, I'm going to work with you through this.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. How did, I know this is not about church, but being that you said that, because like me, I don't equivalate being a Christian with going to an institution, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how did that start to make you feel about, you already got the outside world. How did that start to make you feel about people that's in this building that you thought that we all was one faith and one this and like that? How did that make you feel? And then, like, yeah.
Um, it made me feel that everybody thinks about themselves all the time, more than other people. At times, it made me feel hopeless.
Mm.
Give me a second.
Take your time. Take your time.
All right, I'm not saying nothing else. Go ahead, DJ. I say I'm sorry. But you gonna make me cry, Jackie. You know I love you.
Um, it lets me know, what it showed me is that people are not loving as they say they are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a person will tell you they love you, but until they show you, that's a different story.
Amen.
A lot of people inquire, and I would say they would inquire just to be nosy. Never understands what a person goes through until it actually happens to them themselves. If you don't go through it yourself, you would never know how it felt for another person to go through something until you go through it yourself.
No.
It makes that a lot of we're just basically more concerned about their feelings and stuff like that. Not concerned about their fellow people, because as one body, we're supposed to look out for each other. And I did not feel that I got that from the institution I was going to. So I am no longer a part of that institution as we speak because of that, because I didn't get the support that I needed. And on a side note, that institution is not the same as it used to be. I'm just going to leave that right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, Lordy. But it also, I'm glad you said that you also, I mean, you had to take that walk, right? Hey, you took that walk, alone walk, right?
Yes,
So
I did.
so basically that gave you now what you call a testimony, right?
Testimony, living
Right.
testimony. Yes, ma'am.
And
Because right there.
It also made you an author.
Let me stop you right there. Dealing with what I got gravely ill behind it.
Mm.
A lot of people don't know that. You know some of the things I had went through, but stress will kill you. It'll make you sick. It'll make you tired. Um, it'll make you weak. It'll make you second guess yourself. So a lot of people don't know, dealing with the things that I dealt with made me gravely ill, that I was in the hospital for over days behind it.
You know, after COVID, I had a situation after I had my child and he passed on, a very long period of isolation, after he felt like the hospital killed my child. I went through a long period of isolation. Then I went through a year in white that even though I had people around me, I still was very isolated. I talked about that yesterday with Fundi Fee.
Yes.
And even though people are gone away from me, I'm still very isolated. I'm sure that in this moment where you're going through your situation, did you feel isolated?
No, I didn't feel isolated. I felt lonely, more so lonely. I didn't feel isolated because I was able to still go out, but I felt more lonely because I felt that no one actually cared. But as far as I never felt isolated. I just felt no one actually cared. Like I said before, people only cared about their self. And I'm speaking close family members as far as associates.
So you brought yourself to go out and mingle with people even when you were going through what you were going through.
Oh, I went out. I went out all the time. I went to church every Sunday. A lot of people that didn't know what was going on because they they didn't know everything, but they knew a little what was going on. Their thing was, how are you still standing?
That's one hell of a thing to come up and ask somebody. Right. Not, 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 hey,
Yeah,
going to do
yeah,
how are
yeah.
you still standing? Like, bro, like what?
Uh,
and
How
so
are you
and
still? My question. I got a lot of Sundays where there I was on the praise team. How are you still standing?
What was your remarks in your head? Not that came out of your mouth, but what were some of the remarks in your head as they asked you that? Because we built different, right? But I'm like, you know, how am I still standing? Like, it's like DJ said, like what would be the what? I mean, you don't even have to say it, but just say
because
a
hell,
lot of what came out your mouth was not what you really wanted to say in your head. You can leave
You're
it
right.
like you can leave that
how
right
can
there.
you even answer that? It's like, well, I just get up every day.
Some. Well, the things that I thought when I was actually questioned in that particular way, you got to be kidding me. That was the first thing. You have to be kidding me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because, like I said, no one will never understand until it happens to them. When it happens to them, then they'll understand.
And you know what? I think that, and that could be anything. You know,
Hmm.
Hmm.
anything that could happen. We don't have to get into your situation. I get it that there's a certain level of,
Well, the reason I can't talk about it because I'm currently working on my second book regarding that.
okay.
So that's the reason why it's not that I'm trying to keep a secret, it's that I'm getting ready to put this into a second book. I'm currently writing that second book right now.
Right.
I mean, the good part about it is people still go through stuff, right?
Hmm.
So the main thing is you're letting people know, regardless of what you're going through, right? And it's the point,
Hmm.
regardless of what you're going through, you will pick up skills that again you didn't know you had, right?
Yeah.
Because we all go through steps where
Hmm.
I guess life itself, it I mean, as you say, another stepping stone where you have to see what you're made of, right? And then you like, oh, and I every time you think that I didn't know I could do this, or that that strength, like you didn't know that it was sitting there, right? Until you had to go through whatever, and then it also shows you, who's there. Like I think, like the people, I don't know these people, but the minute you say like, "How are you still standing?" My question is, then what did you do to help me? You know, if you're asking me that, right? And if it was any possible way you can help me, right?
Hmm.
Like why didn't I mean that's how I be feeling sometimes,
Hmm.
like right when you're going through something that people like if nobody don't know the story, then you could say to somebody, how are you still standing, right? But when you know situation, so it even teaches you, I mean, it teaches you like, wow, well before this was my worth to you, and
Yes.
now I'm going through this, and so I'm not really this worth to you. I'm
Exactly.
this worth to you,
Hmm.
right? So
Yes.
how remember we're talking, we is talking about her book, but we're building the book also, right? We're building her book to the he say she say there, right? We're building the book as we're talking, right? So I just want to let y'all know because so how was it easy to let them people go, or y'all, or you just how you say how grandma say with a long
Long
handle
handle spoon.
spoon? Yeah.
It's very easy to let them go because what that showed me was that people sometimes only care about their feelings. They are one way on the outside and they're another way. And one thing I say about that is you twice from the same person. That taught me a lot.
Now, for the love of, for yourself, how was that? Like, how was the love for yourself? Like, did you feel like, okay, now I have to love myself, or you had to learn how to love yourself? Where was the love for yourself part at?
The love for myself was always there. What that taught me was to love myself more, because no one will love you more than you love yourself. You have
Mm-hmm.
to learn how to love yourself before you can love other people. If you don't know how to love yourself, there's no way you can learn to love other people. And it taught me a lot. See how I can put that. It taught me to look at people in a different aspect. So to um, weed out the ones that were not for me, like I said, and the ones that were for me were there.
So as the guy instructed you to start writing this down, right?
Hmm.
I I mean, I already know it was, gosh, where you at, collectic? What's that word when you're writing? Gotta stop with
Um,
that C. Not collective. Where you at? Fix the word. Fix the
what,
word. What's the
what,
word, DJ?
what are you trying to say?
Collective. When you're doing something that makes you feel better while you're doing it.
I don't
I
know.
don't
I
know.
don't know what you're
You
trying to
know,
say.
Come on now. What are we talking about? That's another
both
one.
of y'all are like so fired. Right? Both of y'all are fired. All right. What
Cathartic?
that
Cathartic?
cathartic. I knew you was gonna get it, DJ.
What
I
is
knew
it?
you was going to
What is
get
it?
it. Thank you, Angela.
Oh,
Thank
oh,
you.
darn it.
I
Okay.
love you guys. This is how I got to
Thank
say
you.
words wrong to
We
get y'all
trying to use
to
too much big
participate.
words here. We gotta just
No, no,
use
no.
break
Keep
it
pick
down.
this. I gotta say words wrong to get y'all to participate in the chat.
Okay.
Huh? Thank you. Cathartic. I still can't say it
Cathartic.
right,
Yeah.
but
I've heard that word before, but I didn't understand what you say.
yeah, I know y'all got to have my back here. So you start writing. So like in the beginning, it's now when does it start to say, "Ooh, yeah," like yeah? When did this start helping you? Before you said, "Hey, cause let me try it out and see if it can help people." When did it start? When did it start helping you?
It started helping me. Let's see. Like I said, it started in let me go back. Let's go back for a second. It started in 2008. To be exact, 2008 is when I would say maybe around 2010 is when it started to pick up for me, because after I started meditating a lot, because I would come home and I would just shut myself off from everybody. And I would say maybe 2010 is when it really started. Even though it was clicking at the time, I did not know I was something until I was told, hey, you have something here. And,
Mhm.
this can help a lot of people. I was still, and the thing about that is, I was still going and teaching the youth every day, going through what I was going through. And that was really hard, because it's like I'm helping them, but I couldn't help myself. And
Mhm.
so I was able to help someone else. So, like I said, it started to click around maybe 2010 per se. And I was told something, you need to take these and put these into a book format. So I was disobedient, like I said before, what I was told. So I just kept writing and kept writing. Prayed, I meditated, I prayed, I meditated. And at that point, it seemed like nothing was turning for me, but I kept going through the wheel of emotions. I kept and dealing with the youth, but I wasn't helping myself. I was helping other people. So it kind of manifested there, if that makes sense.
So, you know, imagine I can imagine kind of cannot imagine looking into your bank account one minute having $500,000 and then looking into it the next day and you're damn near homeless.
Well, I was. Let me get straight. I was homeless. It was just some
No,
things
I
I was
said damn near. I
for.
said damn near. You're
Okay,
damn
yeah.
near.
There was some
I never
things.
said you were. No, yeah, I said
No, I
you
never
look at
said you
your
said I
bank account
was,
one
but
minute,
I
the
was
next
saying
minute.
that it was some things that I could not afford before all this took place. There was a lot of times I couldn't even go out and purchase certain things like clothes and certain foods that I wanted to eat, and curricular activities, whatever I want to choose to do. I never, not one time, thought I would be homeless. It was just certain things I had to rearrange because of what I was dealing with.
Let me give you an example. Last year, I was like making over 200, almost over $200,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This year, I'm on unemployment. I don't have $0 in my bank account.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having to take my unemployment and stretch that where I'm used to like almost making $10,000 a month. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is that in my mind, I'm like I'm damn near homeless. You know, even though I got two houses,
Right.
and
I
that's
understand
done
what you're
something
saying.
to the mental. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yes.
because to be at a high, to be at such a high, and then to go to that, it's like, how do I
Because
pull myself up out of that? How do I get back to where I was? Will I ever get back to where I was? Right? Will I ever
yes.
see $500,000 in the bank account again? Will I ever? You know what I'm saying? How explain that feeling about like just 1 minute, kind of like knowing that you, when you have that much amount of money, you're making that amount of money, and then it's kind of stripped from you. Because when
Mhm.
you got that money, you move different. When you got money like that, you move different, and it feels like the world is your oyster. But now you're feeling like you're struggling for every little thing, for
Mm-hmm.
everything. That's what I want you to get into.
It makes you feel hopeless at times. It makes you feel sick to your stomach. Maybe that's the best. Knowing that you could not do the things normally used to do, kind of cuts you off from society because everybody else seems like they're having a good time, but you're stuck in this one specific space and you can't do anything about it. So that's why I felt very hopeless because the things I was used to doing, I couldn't do anymore. I wasn't even able to go to the thrift stores anymore. And I just love going to thrift stores all the time, buying stuff and reselling stuff. But I wasn't even able to do that at that time. So it made you feel, or it made me feel like I was very hopeless. And like I said, it took a turn for the worse because I got sick behind it. Yeah, made me feel hopeless. Not to the point that I want to give up, though. Let's get that straight. I never, not one time, want to give up. And
Now,
that we go through things
what's
for
You can't give up. You can't give up.
what we
no, but I
what
know
at
I know
that
from my
point?
upbringing that we go through things for a reason, and sometimes you have to some things have to fall down for better things to take place.
Yeah,
Even though at that
yeah.
time I didn't understand that at that time, but
Wait,
now
wait,
that I
one more
see
question to
now,
catch that, Sugar Love. Do you feel like that when you were at your high, you had a whole lot of people around you, and then when you got at your low, everybody scattered?
Mhm. Mhm.
When you had all the money in the world, whatever, you seem to have all these people around you that was like there and all up in your face. But then once you were at your low, everybody kind of like been, it's like nowhere to be found.
yes, that's how I felt. Very much so. But like I said, there was actually, I did not say that previously. There was two people actually. My colleague, his name is Nelson Hampton. We do classes together. Between him and Dr. Grimes, those were the ones that kept me grounded. Out of all the people that I dealt with, those were the two people that actually kept me grounded. Yes.
Did you lose any friends from a long period? Because like in my situation, I because I have a place I have a place I'm getting to. Did you have any friends that you probably were like friends for a long time that was around you when you were at your high, that you knew from a very long period, but then when you went through this, you lost that friend?
Yes, I did. And a lot of those members were members that I went to church with. After I went through what I went through, it was like they just kind of went their way. Yes, I did. And to this day, I have not spoken to some of those people since 2008. Yes, I did.
So do you feel like those friendships, even though they might have even started before you even had a lot of money, began to become superficial the more that you began to like make a lot of money, and then when they see you going down, it's like they feel like, oh, I'm gonna jump up off this ship and she's on
I
her
did.
own.
I did feel that way because I would often visit those people that I'm speaking of right now, but I was never reciprocated for the visit. So yes, it was superficial. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure you were there for them. They probably went through things, came to
Yeah.
you for money, came to you for help. You were lickety Johnny on the spot. Hey, whatever you need. But then when you needed it,
There. And that's actually
was
correct.
that the largest pain point that you really felt?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Was that one of the biggest pain felt? Because you said that you felt lonely, right?
Hmm.
So was it the realization that these people really never really cared about you? They, at one point they
Yes.
really did. Did that
That
like
was that
contribute to the
realization
loneliness?
that I felt after that happened, that they were basically out for themselves and they really did not care. Yes, you're actually correct. Yes.
I'm going through this right now. That's why I even had those. That's why I know.
Oh yes. It's real. Trust me, it's real.
And that's
Yes.
why you end up with a whole new group of friends because you know what God does? God like sometimes when we are in a high, you know what I'm saying? We get blinded by like that forward motion that we're in. And
Hmm.
we don't realize that the people around us really they're not really there for us. They're just there on our coattail. Ride
Exactly.
the wave, right? And
Hmm.
then God have to like shake things up to shake those people off of you so you can get a new group of people around you that really appreciate who you are, whether you have
Well,
it or
well, what they showed me was that they were never really there for me in the first place. That's what I learned from that. Like I said before, there was only two people that was with me and still are with me to this day. And before, let's go back. Let's backtrack for a second. When it first started, there was a lot of people on my side. Um, After I started going through this, I was looked at differently. And I don't know how to explain that, but I was looked at differently. Like what happened to me was a fault of my own, but it was not. It was a fault of somebody else.
and so you know what? Getting out of like just like the basic aspect of what your life is, how would you define friendship now? How do you think you defined friendship then, and how do you define friendship now?
What that tells me is that people toss the word friends and love around very carelessly, because you have to, like I said, you have to be a friend to yourself first. Because if you can't be a friend to yourself, you can't be a friend to no one else. If you don't love yourself first, you can't love anyone else. That's what that showed me. And so what that told me was that a lot of the people that was in my corner before, they actually never really loved their self. That's what it showed me.
Do you feel that because, like you said in the beginning, like they had your back, then they started looking at you differently? Do you think? Because sometimes I get like that. If I had more people behind me and shouting with me and standing with me, giving me that support, maybe certain things wouldn't have went that way.
I'm sorry,
It would
repeat your
have.
question. Repeat your question
I
again.
said, I said, do you feel because you said that in the beginning you had people that had your back, then they started looking at you differently.
Yes. Mhm.
Do you feel like if they would have stayed, right? And if they would have been there by your side and made more noise or whatever, things would have went differently if they would have seen like, okay, we all got her back. And no, 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 or whatever the problem may have been. You think it would have turned out differently if it was like more in numbers that
I
had your
believe,
back?
I believe if they had had my back, I believe I would not have spent as much money as I did
Mm-hmm.
to try to that was done on me. I believe so. I really do believe so. But like I said, they were there up until the point, and it's like they backed out. And we know people do that all the time. So I can't get upset about it. That just lets me know that everybody can't be trusted.
Here's a
That's what that
question.
shows.
Here's a question. Like, a lot of times when we're, especially when you get into health, right? You'll
Hmm.
be going through something and you keep it to yourself because you want to be that strong woman.
Okay.
How much of the strong woman do you think contribute? Were you like one of those type of people like I'm gonna just go through this, I'm gonna push through it, I got this, I got all the strength in the world, I'll just do it myself and I can handle it myself, I can handle it, and then you feel broke, it is breaking you down more and more because you're trying to do everything yourself? Did you go through that?
Um, I did go through, well, at first I did not go through that until after it got to a certain plateau is when I felt like that. At the very beginning, I did not feel like that. But as it went on, it made me become more resilient. And it made me step back and look at myself and say, well, if you don't have anyone to help you, you're going to have to go through this by yourself and get through this. So it did make me it made me a better person, and it made me a stronger person. Yes, it did.
In in shamanhood, they'll say that, a lot of shamans, like, they have to experience near death to be able to heal other people.
Hmm. I've heard that before.
I feel like that
And,
probably was your moment right there.
and in my case, like I said, I became gravely ill to the point I was in the hospital for 30 days. At one point, they didn't know exactly what was wrong with me. It took them 30 days to find out. So, yes, I felt I was at my lowest point at that time. Yes.
And then being ill, and then, like, when it comes to finances, that it just affects everything.
Yes, it did. It did.
The hospital bills, all that stuff.
Hmm.
All that. So, did you have any support from, or did you kind of keep your illness from your family and friends, or did you let them know that you were going, or did you have no choice but to let them know?
No, I did not keep the illness from, well, actually, like I said in the beginning, they knew exactly what was wrong. So there was nothing to say at the beginning. They had to do a lot of testing and send it off to the lab. And at that time, I did not keep it from my family and friends. I told my family, the close family and friends that I do have, Dr. Grimes, which I said, I consider him a family member, even if he's not. And he basically told me how to deal with that, to try to reverse some of the things I was going through with it. So he's the one that changed my habits. So because of him, I am now a vegetarian.
So, can you discuss what the illness was, or is that also going to be just in the book?
I have an autoimmune disease behind it. I did.
Oh man, your body began to fight itself.
My body's still fighting itself. There are days, some days I don't even feel like moving, but I have to push myself and I keep going. I am currently in physical therapy twice. I won't say physical therapy because I want to say the word conditioning because that's what I do. It's not a traditional hospital setting that I go to. I go to a professional physical therapist that train professional baseball players. So it's more intense for me.
So, man, that's still suffering from that autoimmune disease,
Yes.
illness. Listen, like, do you think it was stress related, or do you think it was hereditary? Do you think it was just? Do you know anybody else in your family that had the same illness, or?
No one in my family had the same illness. I think it was basically stress related. It was,
All
but
right.
we'll never know. But no one else was diagnosed with this before I was. So I'm gonna say it was more stress related because we all know it can take you out. And I was
Mm-hmm.
dealing with a lot of stress. There's a lot of nights that I didn't even go to sleep because I was something and trying to prove something. And there was nights that I wouldn't even go to bed. I would sleep like 1 hours a night.
Probably not even getting enough nutrients and none of
I
that.
was not I was not getting enough nutrients. And like I said, when I Grimes, which is my supervisor slash colleague slash um he basically he's also a chiropractor. He deals a lot with the holistic. Is trying to keep it at bay so I don't have the flare ups all the time because there are times that I get a lot of flare ups right now to this day behind it.
Um, Now you start writing. Okay, you
Mm-hmm.
writing. It's cathartic. Whatever. Yeah, y'all correct me the
Oh,
way
yes,
y'all want.
yes, that's it.
I don't like none of y'all. Okay, so now when does the change start to come? Like, did you say was it a mindset or did things just started to pick up? Like when did the change started to click in with you? From okay, I have to when you okay, wow. I have to get this done, I have to get that done. Like did you go back to school, or did you find it like a new job, or like when did the shift started to change in your favor? Like far as things started, did you know it? Did you implement it, or it just gradually did it?
It gradually changed. Like I said, I have over 8 notebooks worth of quotes that I was writing. So it basically gradually changed. It didn't change right away because I was still going from doctor to doctor to doctor. At one point in time, I'm trying to think, I had 6 doctors, 6 specialists that I was dealing with. So it was really over time. And so I got down to basically 2 doctors right now. And I was seeing 6 doctors at first. So it was a gradual change for me.
And then the depression that goes along with that illness.
I was let's get that straight. I was never depressed. People might say you're depressed, but you're depressed if you say you're depressed. I wasn't depressed. I think I was more angry. I was never depressed. I was more angry. I was never depressed. Let's get that straight. I was never depressed. I was
Yeah, I'll be like, I understand
angry.
that.
I was more angry because the question kept coming to myself was, why me? And then I had to think about it and turn around and say, well, why not me? Because I went through this for something. And the reason I say that is because what I'm doing now is helping other people.
Right. So how do you know the difference between depression and anger?
I never stayed in bed, not one day. I always went out. I kept going out every day, regardless of what it looked like. I never stayed in this house. I kept going and going and going and going to the point that my body just says, okay, you're going to stop.
So you did the opposite.
Yes, I did.
That's what I do. I get angry. I know.
Yes.
Believe me, I understand that feeling. It's not depression. It's like, but to me, it's the same. Well, I mean, technically, it's the same coin, but different sides, right? Because either way, it still gave you an unwanted emotion, right? It's an unwanted emotion, right?
Exactly.
So
and see how that anger can fuel. Like, okay, say you're angry. Like, I'm not gonna let them know. Fuck all that. I'm about to no. I'm gonna be up all night. I'm gonna look up this. I'm gonna look up that.
That's exactly what
you ain't
I was
do that. You up there mad, and then ain't getting enough sleep. And then you know what I'm saying. You up there. You sleep for 2 hours. You probably up after 2. Can't go back because your brain is going rambling. That's depression. You might not realize it, but that rambling of the brain that happened. There's different levels of depression. You know, you got the down depression, but you also have the up depression where you can't sleep, you can't do this, and your mind ruminates and can't and hyper focuses on things, and you just can't let it go. So that's another form of depression. It might be fueled by anger. You know what I'm saying?
No, there is a difference. Now, sometimes what you're saying is absolutely correct also, but clinically that will be bipolar, right? That would be borderline bipolar. No, that's the new diagnosis now, right?
According to the Black Law Dictionary or whatever it is, that is
right.
Yeah.
But either way, whichever which way, it's an unwanted emotion, right? It's something you didn't ask for, and it's taking you out of your norm. Right, it's not your norm, right? So again, when does you start to get back to that, like my norm? Like when you started writing, right? Then he told you to write down what you're saying. You was disobedient, and then when was it like, I think I need to be obedient? Like what was that point like?
But hold on. So wait a minute. Before we get into that, hold on. I'm gonna say this. So you were disobedient. Why were you disobedient? Was it because you were hyper focused on what you were angry about, or was it because you just didn't feel like writing? Like,
right?
Like instead of me writing that, I need to be over here getting fixing this. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time to be writing no book, whatever, writing up this. I need to do this and figure out all this other stuff and focus on this. You know, was it kind of like a thing like that? Like I got to get
that's exactly what it was. I was trying to correct the wrong. You're right. That's exactly what it was.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're fighting an uphill battle. It's like,
was
But
fighting
you
somebody
can't,
else.
like, you cannot see the thing between the forest for the trees. Like, just like sometimes you gotta sit still, but you like, no, I gotta fix this problem. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You're a fixer because
Right.
you're a fixer. You know what I'm saying? You're a fixer
I told
person in other people's life
Yup.
that
I
their
told her
problem.
that the other day.
And
You know.
so
Thank
when you
you.
go through a
Thank you.
problem, you're trying to overly
Yep.
fix it. You can't even fix you not you can't sit still because you're like, I fix everything for everybody else. I can fix this. I can do it. I know I can do it. God dang it. And you fuel that anger to whatever. If I gotta not sleep, not eat, not do nothing, whatever, blah, but go ahead.
Well,
I want you
let's get one thing straight. I fueled it
just
until it
because
made me
I go
sick.
through the same thing. Trust me, I'm identifying so much with what you're talking about.
But
I'm sorry.
I fueled it until it made me sick, and that's when I had to step back. After I got sick is when I had to step back
Sometimes
because
God got to sit you down.
I had to concentrate on my body and my healing. I did not know. Well, I know that stress can kill you and stress can make you sick, but I was at that point. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. So after I got sick is when I said, okay, step back. And that's exactly what I did.
What would you tell a person that's in that high hamster wheel of whatever their issue is? Because I know a lot of people probably are going through this. I'm going through it now. Trust me. At some point, I was so hyper focused and so crazy about stuff that yes, I was not getting no sleep. I was up
Yeah.
all night. I was doing all this, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and getting like a couple hours of sleep because my mind wouldn't stop. What would you tell a person to before they get sick? Like some of the symptoms that what you were doing that could make you end up getting sick.
I would start off by telling a person to stop whatever they're doing, to take time throughout the day to meditate, exercise, and concentrate on what they want the outcome to be. Because when you put too much focus on certain things, you lose focus on another point. You can only focus on one thing at a time. And in my case, I was trying to focus on A, B, C, D, E, F, G. When in actuality, you can only do one thing at a time. No matter how much people say they multitask, something's still going to go lacking.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to concentrate on the most important. Sometimes what we fail to realize is that we focus on the now, the urgent, what's not the important needs to be focused on. A lot of people tend to forget that. You sometimes focus on the important, not what the urgency is. And that's what
That is,
people tend to forget.
yeah. Was you the type of angry? I'm joking, but it might be true. Was you the type of angry that I'm gonna stay cool and calm? But I wish somebody would. Like they could get all of it. Being that you was holding it, because I know how it is to hold it. So you attend to, and then you just be looking at people, even if you don't even know them. Like I wish you would.
Well,
You gonna
actually,
get like what is because sometimes people don't understand. This is why I always say, like, be careful when you speak into people
Mhm,
because you never know what they're going through, and
mhm.
you might be on the receiving end of the stick. Now, was you that type of person you really your anger had it to where you had to be cautious because you knew somebody like a ticking bomb, like somebody going you might get this. You might not
Sometimes
deserve it. You
some
might
people
not deserve it, but you gonna get all you gonna get all of this.
some people actually got it, to be honest with you.
Uh-huh.
And those were some of my fellow church members. They actually got it because I was actually um my pastor's son actually got a little bit of it. So yeah. To
So
answer
I mean,
your
yeah, because when
question.
sometimes I know when like you said, you didn't have to do have the anger, but it's
Mhm.
that that gets you more sicker than depression
Yes.
because that's where it starts hitting the organs and because
Hmm.
it has to be released,
Yes.
right? It
Exactly.
has to go somewhere. the same way if you get ready to argue with somebody, and I mean you get yours in, and let's say you walk away, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That person is now left. That person is going to be sick for the rest of the day because
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't be released, and a lot of people don't know how to release it. That's why you'll see people just like fighting. Like, why they keep fighting all the time? Because so, what would be positive ways that people can release some of that anger? Because if you don't, you will be in that hospital for 3 days, maybe more, not knowing what's going on. But it's the anger that's it has so it releases itself in your organs. It's just change all the chemicals in your body, because
Yes.
where is it to go? So what would be some of the strategies that you would give somebody where they can release that anger before it be released inside the body?
Um, my this is
I
just my
mean,
this is
I
my
mean,
suggestion.
it could be, it doesn't have to be what it could be things that you thinking of now that maybe I could have or should have done this. It's no like particular thing, but
Mm-hmm.
if you're thinking about it, you could say I'm thinking about it in the now. Maybe if I would have did, or you can do whatever. What are some good positive outlets you think that will be good for letting that anger out?
Some good
Besides
positive
writing, because you did write, so we're not going to say writing.
some good positive outlets would be I like to listen to a lot of music, and even though I was in church, I love all types of music. Gospel, R&B, rock music. All types music is the inner to our soul. A lot of people don't know that, but music speaks in a lot of volumes. Listen to music, a lot of meditation, a lot of walks, a lot of time, even mini vacations. If you can't afford to go anywhere, just take yourself out to the movies, do something yourself. You don't have to be around a bunch of people all the time because, like I said, sometimes the people are the worst ones for you. So,
Hmm.
that's exactly the advice that this is me personally speaking. I can't speak for everybody, but that would be one of the things that I would tell someone to do. Yes.
How do you think that some of your illness came from anger you didn't express, that you held inside and didn't express it out to people? Like maybe
Yes.
somebody was pissing you off and you just like,
Yes. No, you're right.
and then,
A lot of it I do believe came from holding a lot inside because like I said, a lot of times when you it tears us up inside. So a lot did come from holding a lot in because there's a lot of people that I have family members to this day that don't even know what happened to me. And I'm saying family members that I've been known all my life. A lot of my family members don't even know what I'm going through. They don't know what I went through. So yeah, a lot of times holding that will do that. Yes.
let's talk about holding things inside, because I know I experience it. Now I'm a little more vocal because
Mm-hmm.
now it's like I don't know, something happens when you go through these type of things that you now like somebody say something to me, I'm like nope, 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 you know. Before
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, okay, 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 and then I would just explode into like a crazy thing, and then people like, be what? You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
like, let's talk about holding things inside and how it affects you.
First of all, holding things inside is not a good thing. Some things it's okay, but when it gets to the point when it starts making you feel hopeless, when it starts to affect your moods, when it starts to affect your appetite, when it starts to affect how you deal with other people, that's not good. That's something that you should go, even if you don't talk to someone else. I think, me personally, this is just me speaking, professional counseling can help. At that time, it's not that I didn't know who to go to.
And isn't that crazy that you're in a church that you're supposed to be able to go to the pastor and talk about these things, and you
Yeah.
didn't know who to go to? What
Well,
is
no,
that about?
no. Let's get that correct. I did go to the pastor. So let's start there first. The pastor, and the thing that happened with that situation was, okay, we're behind you. But when it got,
Hmm.
they were not behind me. They backed out. So
For their own.
I did go to the pastor at first. So let's get that straight. I did go to the pastor. I went to the pastor. Also, by me working with the youth, I the youth pastor as well. I did go to the pastor, and they were there at first, but then changed as it got more intense. It's like they did not want in my situation. Also, get something else straight. There was not one day that I did not show up for church. There was not one Sunday not there for the praise team, but nobody was there for me.
How involved were you in church? Were you like really like super like the pillar of like really into the church, like involved with all the like had a place in the church, like where people like relied on you within the church, and then
No, I got a lot of whispers, no questions, because that's what a lot of Christians do. I hate to say that, but they'll speculate instead of coming to you personally. They'll speculate what your problem is, but they will not come to you personally and ask you what's going on with you. They'll speculate an assumption from what they see. I was very involved in the church prayer service every week, praise team, sound check every 7 o'clock every Sunday. Church didn't start till 8. I was there at 7 o'clock every Sunday. Yeah, I was very involved in the church. When we went out of town, I was out of town. Every time we were there, I was there. But they weren't there for me.
and some of that anger, do you think that some of the anger or the fact that you put so much energy into that and they're not there for you, that kind of like bubbled up inside of you and kind of caused like that? Because a church could be like a real huge part of someone's life,
Mm-hmm.
it could be, and it could be devastating when that part does not like support you in a way, and then then you have to just kind of turn away from it and just say, you know what, I got to do this on my own. That could be devastating.
It was very devastating. After I found out that I basically, like I said, I had two close colleagues / friends, and you don't have to be family by blood all the time. And the two people that I spoke of earlier, I much consider them my family to this day. So, because those were the ones that were in my corner when the rest should have been there. It should not have taken them to help me. It should have been the lead.
Were they a part of your church, or they were just outside?
They were a part of my church. Yes, they were.
Or they still are with the church?
No.
Wow.
No.
Wow. That says a lot. That says a lot that they even agreed that this isn't right how the church is doing. Wow.
They're no longer with the church. No.
Was it a huge church or a small church? Like a mega church?
Well, let's see. We had over 1,000 members. I just want to say maybe 1,500 members. And we had 2 services every Sunday, and I was there for both. So it wasn't a large church, but it was a large church, but it wasn't a large church, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right. How much money do you think you gave to that church?
Oh, wow. Now that's a hard thing to say, because sometimes I went up above than what I was supposed to give, because that's just the way I am. And even though I did it with the church, to this day, I will still help someone if they need it. If I'm in a position to help someone, I don't mind doing that. So it's hard for me to put a monetary value on how much I gave that church. I started going there in 2007, and I stopped going there in 2013 was my last time there.
Man, that's almost like 7 years.
Hmm. Yes.
I mean, so and then not only you probably were just only giving tithes, but also offerings. Hell,
yeah.
You're there for all the different services. You got to give something for each service, darn near, right?
Yes, I did. We would have our annual spring conference in our annual conference, where we would have guest speakers come out, from Chicago and different, various places. So I did. So I gave above and beyond what I was supposed to give. And I was taught that from my grandmother. So I have to thank her for that. My grandmother taught me to be very generous, regardless.
Right. And then to know that you have given so much of yourself, given so much of your finances, and then when you're in a financial bind, like when most churches, and then here, I want to get into this because,
Okay, go ahead.
a lot of times, when people's lights go out or whatever,
Hmm.
like I know a lot of the Catholic churches and all the different like Caucasian churches. I'm not sure if you went to a black church or a white church. Did you go to a white church
It
or a
was
black?
it was no, it was a mixed congregation. It was different peoples from all walks of life in that church. So it was a non-denominational church. So let me start there.
Mhm.
Yes.
So were they one of those churches that was involved with the community, like had like? Because I noticed that a lot of like the white church, like the Catholic churches and things like that, are in tune with the government. To where if you're going through something like that, you can go to the church and get like government assistance because these churches are plugged in. But a lot of like the certain types of churches, they don't plug in and like get the benefits that the government has, like the food bank, clothing bank, uh, uh, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying like
Mm-hmm.
you can go to the Catholic charities. So I just went there a couple of days. When my water got turned on, I was able to go to the Catholic charities
Hmm.
and get my water. They did a pledge. These nonprofits don't even realize they can make a pledge to the water company and pay the bill through the government, and they don't have, it's not coming out the church's pocket, but just even
Right.
having that system in place to help their congregation, help people in general from the community. Did your church have those things in place?
They did. As a matter of fact, the church that I went to, they had a food bank and a clothing bank there where they handed out food on certain days. So they were very much involved with the community. But now, let's see, we're into 2024. The way they were operating back when I was a member, no longer operate today. So they're asking the public for help right now.
Wow.
Hmm.
When they can probably go to the government and probably get help.
They probably
Honestly.
could. Hmm. But what happens is when you don't treat people right, that's what happens.
Yeah. 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 So, okay. I want to get into the journey. I mean, did you have any more? Because I want to get into the journey of the book. So, what you want to you got any more? You got any more questions, TJ?
Oh no, I just wanted to really get into like the client, the actual aspects of things that like kind of contributed to the depression, not the depression, but the anger. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I do see is that
Mm-hmm.
you got out. You know what I'm saying? You didn't just sit in the house. So
No.
that's a plus. I think that's one thing that kind of maybe even kept you stabilized. Now you probably were doing a little bit too much that got you sick. You know what I'm saying? So too much of anything. So depression on both sides can be bad. Like so some people might isolate. Some people might just overly overwork themselves to death to the point where they make themselves sick.
Yes.
Anything too much can make you sick, right?
Yes.
Now you have to
Hmm.
find that happy medium. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Thankful that a chiropractor, Dr. Grimes, and shouts out to the chiropractors of this world, the holistic healers of the world are able that are still out here.
Hmm.
That came back in the center with the help of the doctor. Um,
Yeah.
what
Wait, hold on.
what
What?
I was going to ask a question. So
I'm sorry. Go ahead, DJ.
aside from exercise, meditation, having like that counsel of the doctor, uh, did you have a love interest? Were you just cut off from any kind of romantic at that time, or were you just like, "Well, no, I don't have time to be in a relationship"? Did you have a love?
No, I did not have a love interest because I was more concerned about getting back to where I used to be. And to this particular time right now, I'm still not in a relationship. I'm concentrating on myself right now.
Do you
You know,
feel like that when you go through things like that, it kind of makes you double think about even trying to even bring another person into your life because it's like it's too would be too much work.
no, I don't feel it would be too much work. Well, are we speaking of right now or are we speaking of previously? Which are we speaking about?
Previously and then now. So previously we're going back.
Previously, I thought it would be a little bit too much for someone to deal with previously, but now that I am where I am now, I feel that if someone comes across the path and our paths cross, I'm not going to knock it and I'm not going to say no.
You single and ready to mingle.
Yes, we
I
never
see you got
know
your I
what's
got your
out
hair.
there.
You got your hair fried, dyed, laid to the side, blonde.
We never
And
know
you,
what's out there for us is what I'm saying. But I'm not knocking anybody out because you never know what God's going to put in your path.
right. All right. So let's get into the
Now,
head sugar.
right, let me ask one question. Now,
Hmm.
at any point in time, because sometimes the devil take over, right?
Hmm.
When you in that, type of predicament. Did you ever have any thoughts of like revenge? Like when I get back on top, I'm gonna get you. Like you start writing this list. As you was writing that, did you write the? All right, you answered the question. Go ahead. Like, I'm checking this list. I'm checking it twice. I'm gonna find out who's naughty or nice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we can get into the book. You answered the question. Go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, I
But
did.
I just wanted to say people is that's normal too. That
Yeah.
is also normal,
Yes.
right? Well,
Yes.
go ahead, DJ.
No, I was just saying, like, yeah, when you hell, everybody thinks of revenge, or we just say when we see people go kind of down, like, yeah, I thought that's what you get. See, because
Hmm.
trust me, listen, I'm seeing my enemies crumble. I'm like, yeah, bro,
uh,
my foot, the enemies will be your footstool. So saith the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
hey, it is true though. It is true though.
That's true.
It is true. And
Is
that's
That's
it
been
true.
rough
true.
to feel
That is
that
true.
way sometime, or to acknowledge that? Like, listen, I didn't see y'all. Y'all done did, and now look at what you done. Now look at, and you know what? What I'm noticing too is karma is coming back quicker than it used to be. Like,
Yes.
at least in my life, especially like now that I've been through this tough time, when I
Hmm.
see what people screw me over, it's almost like about a week later, something calamity, and God lets you see it.
But
Have you
let
noticed
me
that?
let me let me say something though to that, Jay. I've learned from that. I don't put myself out there in certain predicaments to happen because of what I and what it has taught me is to be more caring about feelings besides my own. I have to look at other people as I often let me say it this way. A lot of people say stop looking for you in other people because nobody's going to be like you.
I
But
had to
there's
learn
nothing
that.
Yes, but there's nothing wrong with helping
Hmm.
someone out of their situation because you never know what someone else is going through. And I'm gonna be honest with you, your family members are the worst ones sometimes when you're going through something. It's sometimes a stranger will help you before your family member will.
I've experienced that too. Yeah, you know. Um, listen, what would happen if any of those people came back to you today and said, I'm sorry? Would you accept them back into your life?
Yes, because I was taught to be a forgiving person from my grandmother. Yes, I would accept them back, but I would treat them differently. And that's being honest. They would not get treated the same as they were getting treated before. I would treat them differently. I would still love them, but I would treat them differently. Because a lot of people throw the word trust out there. Trust is a very, very strong word. Love is a very strong word. I would accept them back, but they would not get the same treatment as before.
Do you treat any new people the same way you treated the other ones before?
No, I don't. I treat them accordingly. I meet people where they are and I leave them there. That's what I've learned.
Mm, mm,
And
mm.
sometimes when love is no longer being served,
How do you stop from repeating the same cycle?
how do you stop from repeating the same cycle?
Yes.
Don't go back to old wounds, is what I would say. What hurt you 10, 15 years ago should not keep hurting you now. Because if you let that keep hurting you, you can't progress. I also say get out and meet new people, because sometimes you'll find people that have the same interests as you and the same love as you. You just have to get out and find those people.
You know, a lot of times when I'm ranting on my little morning rants, you be sitting up there like giving me like tools and stuff like that. When I'm ranting,
I do.
you need to like take some of them quotes you be giving me and put them in your new book. You need to go back to the comments, because a lot of times I'll be like, and then this and then that, da, 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 and you'll be like, and you'll be giving me a quote. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes such and such.
Yeah.
You're like becoming like the quote master, I believe. I'm gonna call you the quote master. You be having the quotes.
That's the book, right? I'm glad you said that. I am so glad that you said that, because technically that's how the book came into fruition.
That's how it came to fruition. Exactly. Yes.
And I'm glad that with this book that you have came into fruition. I'm glad that, I'm glad that, I don't know if you can see the chat or not, but
I can
I'm
see. Oh,
glad that,
I can see it.
oh
I was
yeah, I
being,
seen you. I see
was
you
being
still
trolled.
work. I see you still working. I see you still working.
I was being trolled.
Like,
them a,
man, I would have
them a
sniped him
kid.
a long time ago. He got too many words in. He probably would have been
Eh,
gone.
Oh, he got
right,
snapped.
but
He got snapped real quick.
it's good to see how many people, like, when you think you're alone. And it's a shame that's why I always call y'all my internet family. And I love to see, like, especially like how we're talking, we all been through these things, and on top of that we support each other at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even though my book, because I made sure I paid for my book first, that was stolen
Oh,
from me. That was stolen from me. I mean, I can't even tell you what the quote was because I didn't have my glasses on. I turned around, book gone. I said, but it's supposed to have went that way, you know. So
mm-hmm.
now let's get into, okay. Now you have these many pages. Now what do I
Mm-hmm.
do? Like, what do you do? Like, was your mind always on publishing the book, or the purpose of you was writing for you to publish a book? Like, let's get into that stage. Like, how did this book become, and what you had to go through to get it, how you say, off the air?
What happened at first? I never thought. Like I said, Dr. Grimes was the one that told me, because what I would do, I would have in my contacts, I start sending out daily quotes and inspirationals to every one of my contacts in my phone list. Dr. Grimes instructed me, because some of those quotes and were so profound. He is the one that suggested that I should put those in a book format. I sat on it for a while and didn't do that. As I said previously, I was being hard headed. So um, one day I was coming from one of my doctors. Me and my son was traveling from one of my doctor's appointments, and I don't know exactly what happened at that particular time. And this was January of 2023 of last year. Um, I was sending out a daily quote. Actually, let's go back for a second. I kind of got burnt out on sending those quotes out to the people that was in my contact list. And I kept getting messages to me. I took a hiatus for a minute, and I kept getting messages. Are you going to stop doing this, or are you going to keep sending these out? So that right there told me someone was listening to what I was saying. So after I took the hiatus, I went ahead and started resending those quotes and daily thoughts back out to people. And out of the blue, last year of 2023, I was coming from a doctor's appointments, and I said, well, someone, keeps wanting these quotes to go out. Maybe I should put these into a book. So my son suggested to me that he had a friend of a friend that knew a publishing company, and they had wrote a lot of children's books. So he put me in touch with the friend of his, and she introduced me to the publisher. That's how I found my publisher. Because what previously happened was I had looked into self-publishing, which we all know when you self-publish books, you have to do everything yourself. I wasn't prepared to do that. You have to do all your marketing, all your advertising, all your sales, everything falls on you. I was not prepared to do that. So when I was introduced to the publisher, which I am with now, I shot my idea to them. They came back and told me there's not a lot of books out there like that. So there was a niche for this book or the genre that I was dealing with. So that's when I started to send in my daily quotes, and that's how I got started. And not a lot of publishers that I had looked into, they have a tendency to change your format. The particular publisher that I work with now, they're very reputable. They're a very new company. They don't try to change anything that you do. They let you do the blueprint. They also take payments. A lot of companies want the money up front. A lot of people don't know that.
So like when you think about these so quotes, right?
Mhm.
Are you taking them do you like get into you ever read this book called How to Win Friends and Influence People?
I'm sorry, say that again.
There's a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. Like, do you read a lot of like motivational books yourself, or these are just like, do you just think of these things off the top of your head because of what you've been
No,
through?
these are my a lot of the quotes in that book are mine. I off the top of my head.
Do you have the book with you? Can you read a few of the quotes?
I should have got it if you can give me a second.
Yeah, go ahead. We want to hear some of the quotes.
Okay, give me a second. I'll grab it. Just give me a second.
Oh, yeah.
Not taking no shots. We ain't taking no shorts. We ain't take the wrong end of the stick anymore. We ain't taking no shorts. Man, you know what it is. Taking care of the kids. And we ain't taking no shorts. Man, you know what it is.
Okay, I'm ready. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that. I'm normally ready. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. So let's hear a few of the quotes out the book.
Okay.
Now, these are the books. These are quotes that she came up with. So let's go.
Well, like Sugar Love said, there's no specific where to start. You can start at the beginning. And also let you guys know there's chapters in this book. So you can go beginning to the end or start in the middle. It depends on where you want to go. Like she said before.
Someone put a number in the chat. This put a number. It's 100 through 1 through 178 pages. 178.
It's one. It's no. Actually, it's one. Let's see here. One, not 178. It's actually 169. But you know they have the preface and stuff like that. So there's
Right.
only 169 pages in the book.
Yeah, you know what I just realized, but you can only you know me, I'm an ebook person, so I was like,
Oh,
well,
and it is on ebook as well. It's on ebook.
okay, so let's go to page 39.
Okay, let's see, 39. Okay.
I was like trying to see it on ebook, and I was like, oh, it's not on Amazon on ebook like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
page 39 says, a
Yep.
person who aims at nothing is sure to hit it. That's the page 39.
Wow, profound.
I like that.
A person who aims at go. So let's okay. So
Say that again.
A person who aims at nothing is sure to hit it.
Ooh.
okay, expound on that.
You have to set your target and know what you want.
All right, another number, y'all. Come on, y'all gotta put the numbers in.
Uh,
I'm gonna put 12.
Page 12.
Mhm.
Okay. The worst person to around is someone who complains about everything and appreciates nothing.
Ooh, powerful. Now say that for people in the
Was
back.
you mad when you were? Sorry.
The worst person to be around is someone who complains about everything and appreciates nothing.
Hmm.
Can I complain and appreciate? Good.
I thank you, but
Do I get a pass there? I appreciate everything,
I
but
appreciate
I
it, but like, well, but means no, guys. But means no.
You want another one? Give me a number.
20, no, 40, 50.
Page 50. Okay.
We need more numbers, y'all. Put the numbers. Okay, we got 68.
Page 50 is from the Bible. Like I said, I did take.
I knew I was gonna get it. I knew it.
Watch your tongue and keep your mouth shut, and you will stay out of trouble. Proverbs 21:31.
You sound like you was mad when you wrote these. So certain ones you was mad. Like, you don't appreciate nothing. Watch your tongue.
She said she was going through the motions now.
Okay, so is there a story behind some of these quotes? Like, this girl said this to me, and I was like, you know what? Watch your tongue. And what?
Well, I think I better watch mine.
If you was watching your tongue, then guess what? You wouldn't have to deal with
it. Page 68. Marlene wants page 68. 68 says, let's see here. Page 68 says, maybe the people who are the hardest to love are the people who the most.
The people that are hardest to love are the people with the most.
The people who are the hardest to love are the people who need it the most.
The people that are hardest to love are the people that need it the most. Wow.
Yes. And Nicole said page 40. It says, page 40. Not only can water float a boat, it can sink it also. The Chinese proverb.
I want to get into people that need love, that are the hardest to love, need it the most. What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that's on page 60. That was Marlene. Let me go back to page 68. I'll go back to that one. On page 68, example, I can give your family members. They're the hardest people to love because they expect so much from you. Not understanding that you're only you. You can only do so much. So they need the most because you do something that they don't normally do or they can't do. That's exactly what I mean by that.
Expectation versus reality. Thank you.
Yes.
Love, Marlene.
Thank you, Marlene.
What about 71?
Page 71. A lie has no author, nor a liar a conscience.
Wow. Now you were sending these out to people every morning. These would come to you.
Yes, I still send them out every day.
Wow. So this is divinely inspired. This is divine inspiration.
I have over 8 notebooks. This was not even half of what I have. I have over 8 notebooks worth of stuff I just kept writing because I went through this until up until 2015, from 2008 to 2015.
Do you think that your situation that you went through opened up the door for your mind to hear God, to be able to get these quotes? Were they coming to you beforehand, or were they only coming when you were going through your trial?
No, they were not coming to me until after I started going through what I went through. They were not coming. I was never a writer. Let's get the thing straight. I was never before that. Like I said, I don't know. I'm trying to remember how I got started. I can't remember per se, but one day my mind just told me to start. I started writing them down, and then I said, okay, maybe somebody else can use this. So what I started doing, I started sending them out to people that was in my contact list. I was never a writer before this, nor did I ever think I could be a writer. And right now, I have gotten writer's block several times writing the second book. The second book, there's going to be a continuation to the daily quotes. The second book that I'm starting on now, that I'm currently into now, is going to be a lot larger than the daily quote book. Yeah.
I mean, this sounds like it could be almost like the 48 Laws of Power, you know?
I
If
don't
you
know,
really,
but I've been trying.
I mean, if you break it down really, I mean, man, let's go and let's do 48. Did we do a 48? Which one's 48?
Page 48 says, another Bible verse, don't pick a fight without a reason when no one has done you any harm. Proverbs 3.
Amen. So how come you ain't making no t-shirts with all this stuff? We need to have some t-shirts.
Yeah, exactly. Especially,
Well, if you
I
look on
think,
my
You have a
I think,
t-shirt for every
no,
quote. You man.
if
but
you
I
look on my
think
website, if you
that
look on
is
my
so
website,
important.
if you look on my website, I sent that to you. Merchandise is coming out. I information. I'm doing cups, t-shirts, and it's on my website. If you can show it,
Now,
it's on the website that I.
it was, what was the quote again? Don't pick on people. I think that is so true.
Don't pick a fight without reason when no one has done you harm. Proverbs 3:30.
Yeah, we're probably going to do a service on that. But I think that is so true. And now, number one, you never know what you're going to get. People have this habit of thinking that because of their anger or whatever, they
Mm-hmm.
think in their mind they're gonna win. They're gonna win everything. When you mess with somebody like who, like I always say, who didn't deserve it or
Yes.
whatever. Yes, that is really good.
Yeah.
Some people pick fights because of anger. That's
Mm-hmm.
fantastic, Jackie.
Thank you.
Expectation versus reality.
Yes.
They love you, Jackie.
Thank you.
The Nick loves that page, while DJ's looking for another page. What was like your first that you can remember? Well, even if it didn't make the book because you were not obedient, what would be like your first quote? Like, you know what? Let me think of this in my head. You know what? This is a quote. Like, what would that? What do you remember? What that was? Even if it didn't make the book, but in your mind, like, was it because of what you was going through and you needed them quotes, or what would you think would be your very first quote that you did on your own, and why?
I can't remember per se what my first quote was, but I can tell you what my thought was is love yourself. But I cannot remember what my first quote was because like I said, I started in 2008, so I can't remember what the first quote was. I have to go back and look at my notebooks to see exactly because I did I put it, they are all in chronological order by date and year. So I can't remember what the first quote was. I have to go back in my notebooks to see, but my first thought was love yourself, love other people as well as you love yourself. Saying that treat everybody like you want to be treated.
So when you talk to teenagers, how do they respond? You know?
Okay, let's explain that because that's where we talked about the teenagers that I do work with myself, and we work with teenagers that have been in. I work with children that are wearing ankle monitors as far as early as fifth grade, fourth and fifth grade.
What?
Yes,
Ankle monitors at fifth grade?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
They putting ankle monitors on fifth graders. Oh my God. What are they
Yes.
doing?
Yes. So we work with children that have been in the system, and what our program is. I don't know if you guys are aware of the program, but um, it was called the Health Marriage Coalition. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's a The Healthy Marriage Coalition was put into act in Washington D.C. to keep the American families, regardless of what race or ethnicity you are, intact. So if you have a kid that's like skipping school or whatever, we're trying to keep the family together. It's called the Healthy Marriage Coalition Act, if you can look it up. It falls under the United States government of Washington, D.C. So that's what we deal with. And what happened was I got certified through my church. Or not.
Mm.
So there's different types of certifications because we go as far as into the workplace. You see that in my bio, with elementary kids all the way through people in the workforce. So there's one that's exempt for the program. And teach diversity as to how to communicate and get along with other people. We're in the school districts right now. A lot of school districts don't want to pay us, but we're in the school district right now. And the ones that have to come to our class, they have to come or they're going to be dismissed from the district because of their behavior, because they have been in trouble with the law.
So do they have to read? Is your book part of the curriculum, or is it just something that
No,
you use as a
it's
thing to kind of help them?
no, the book is not part of the curriculum, but I will be using the book as part of the curriculum. When I first wrote the book, I intended for this to be for teenagers. I sent you an excerpt from the first interview I had. I don't know if you got a chance,
No, I watched the whole thing. That's why I knew it was about teenagers.
with Dr. Chester Butts, Angela.
Yeah, that's why I knew it was about teenagers. I knew it was for
Right.
teenagers.
Well, that's what I intended the book to be for. But when I thought about it, I got to thinking and said, well, adults can use the same thing, because just because you're an adult don't mean the same thing doesn't apply to you. Because communication goes a long way. Also, comprehension goes a long way, because you can talk all day long. But if you don't understand what you're talking, it's not going to go anywhere.
How has the program helped the teenagers that you've dealt with, and how has this book like really helped you when you take your ideas, put it together in a format, help you to even be able to not minister to the teenagers, but like to counsel or teach the teenagers that you're
Repeat
dealing
that
with?
question again.
How is this book, right? Taking your thoughts, putting it into a concise format, help you to be able to not minister but counsel or to teach the teenagers that you deal with in this program?
It has taught me to have more patience, because today's generation is different than the previous generations. And what I mean by that is that we have younger generations having babies at young ages now. And then you get a lot of the grandparents raising their grandchildren, not the actual parents. So it has taught me to have patience, because today's generation is totally different.
But that was happening during my generation, or I think our generation. I'm not sure how old you. I'm 47, but
I'm way older than that. But
I was gonna say,
I'm not going to tell my age,
so
but I'm way
no,
older
no,
than
no,
that.
no. Of course, I would never confuse that. Come on, that's disrespectful. But I mean, I'll tell my age. So,
Yeah.
but I know during my generation, it was like a lot of like. I guess it was the beginning of like that whole teenage mom thing, you know.
Hmm.
And now it's probably more prevalent with the
It is
music.
it is more prevalent. And when you think about it now, that was true back then, because I'm from West. I was born in Michigan, as you know. I had told you, and there was teenage pregnancy, but now it's more prevalent, because when you think about it, a lot of the things have taken over the parents. Because when you think about it, homelessness, drugs, a lot of the gang. So it's a lot different than when we were coming up back in the day. It's totally different right now. It's the same, but it has gotten worse.
And we need to like really talk about the youth because when it really comes down to it, a lot of us are separated. There's a separation
Mhm.
because once you get older, you're not in the school system. Your kids are getting older or whatever, and you don't even realize that this what the new generation is even doing, and to find out that the prevalence of pregnancy amongst teens, the
Mhm.
grandma taking care of the babies, this, that,
Yes.
the other, that I had no idea that that was even going on like that. Even though I have a 16-year-old, because we kind of stay in like a bubble, but people don't even realize how prevalent that is.
Hmm.
I think what changed too also is now they have taken a lot of power away from the parents, right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
now the
Yes.
problem is that these kids are now thinking that they have the power, right?
Yes.
These kids
Mhm.
now, depending on your age bracket, they don't need they don't need our consent.
Exactly. And they don't, because it's been
They don't
taken
need
away.
our consent. You
It's been taken
can't
away from us. Exactly.
chastise them because every little thing the parents is looked under a microscope. But what
Hmm.
the kids don't realize is you're going to be taking orders anyway. You rather
It's
take mines or you
or
rather
there.
take them when you're
There.
behind the bars, right?
Exactly. Prisoner pipeline is what they call it.
Do you see that really? Like, do you really like being involved in the teen, like in like the whole like adolescent type of like working with the youth? Do you really? Is it really obvious that that prison to that school to prison pipeline? Do you really see it?
Yes, I do. I see it every day. Because, like I said, when you think about it, look at some of the schools that are in the intercity ghetto, per se. They don't have the same thing as the suburbs. Yes, I do. They don't have the same books. They don't have the same computers. So, yes, I do. They don't even have the same teachers. They don't even have the same parent involvement. Yes, I do.
So have you been thinking about doing anything when it comes down to parent and child, like seminars or courses, or have you like really considered like doing those type of things?
I haven't considered it because, like I said, what we do, we go to different organizations and do our program, but I have not specifically considered separately from because we're an organization, so I haven't considered separately. No,
Okay.
but that's something to think about, though. Yes,
I mean, it sounds
because
like you should be doing a TED talk, like with these kind of quotes, the way that your mind is going. Like, I think that you need to take it to the next level. Like from like as an actual speaker. Like you seem to be a very good speaker, very eloquent, and the fact that you work with teenagers, you understand a lot. I
but no,
mean,
let me go back. It's not that I work with teenagers. I work with elementary all the way through the workforce. So our program deals with from elementary school all the way up to a born employee. Because a
well,
lot of times you get adults that don't know how to act as well.
that qualifies you even more to do a TED talk or do some
Yeah.
kind of I believe that like what's due is some kind of a program that you create for your that you are the head of, that you kind of utilize this book and your other books, like, and then create like like a curriculum, so to speak.
Well, let's start there. We did with the Healthy Marriage Coalition Act was the communication skills that we were first certified to teach. Dr. Grimes, myself, and Nelson, we do have a curriculum. So a lot of people don't know that we do have a curriculum. We do. So that entails us to be able to go out into the community, go to different schools, workforce, or whatever. We do have a separate.
But is there like, but the average person, can the average person like go and like say, you know what, I want to join the curriculum. I feel like I need my kids to like join this curriculum. Like, is there a way to do that?
Well, we haven't did that per se. Like I said, we go to different like the Boys and Girls Clubs and stuff like that, and we go into the districts. We don't have a separate curriculum for that at this time. No, we don't. But like I said, the curriculum that is required from the Department of Health and Human Services is where that falls under. We took that curriculum and we branched off into another one. So we use theirs and we have our own. The one that they have, part of the Healthy Marriage Coalition Act, if you look up, and that is to keep the American families, because when you think about it, a lot of parents are one household parent. And the Healthy Marriage Coalition is to keep the mother, the father, and the children together. That was the purpose of the whole program before. But we've taken that and broke away from that. So we'll be able to take it and go further than that.
There needs to be a single mom coalition because everybody ain't trying to go get back with the baby daddy. So we need to
Well, that was the government that did that. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to think. It was Bill Clinton. It fell under Bill Clinton is when the program started. It came under Clinton. It's called the American. And each state has a chapter. So if you want to look it up, every state in the United States has their own chapter of that program.
say what it is again because I think that your phone kind of been breaking up. You know, Tron's on your Wi-Fi.
The American Healthy Families Act.
So for those that people that want to get like some support, you know, in your community, please
But type it in real quick, DJ.
It's the American Healthy Families Act. It falls under HUD, Health and Human Services. And
I'm
it's to keep, it was designed to keep the American families together, because when you think about it, the families are not like they used to be. So that was the purpose of the entire program. Department of Health and Human Services. Every state has their own chapter. So it's in every state. And it started with Bill Clinton. So if a person wants to get involved, they will go to their local chapter, whatever state they're in. They will go to their local chapter. They have classes for couples, classes for married people, classes for families. Every state has their own chapter.
Sorry about that. I got a call. But yeah, so it's about to be 2 hours. We're about to close out. I want to really get an idea of how you what would be some like main points that you would like to make when it really comes down to, you know, mental health, you know, self-help, getting through, you know, hardship and like, you know, really like addressing your anger, you know, not allowing it to overtake you and still being able to push through those things. And also, you know, I didn't get into some symptoms, you know, that might happen where you know that maybe before you do that final statement, maybe I want to ask that question first. I'm sorry about that.
Go ahead.
So say you had some health issues that happened, like what were the initial symptoms that let you know that, you know what, I'm going through this, I'm so stressed out, I'm beginning to have like issues and symptoms and I need to go to the doctor. Like, so people could know that if they are experiencing something like this, like through stress, that they should like, you know, either take another route. And then what did you do to try to circumvent some of those things? What could they do? So let's go into that first.
Well, in this case, it's going to be different because what happened, I was used to working 6 to 8 hours every day. And one particular day in 2016, actually it was in March of 2016, I can remember the exact year and the exact month, I was getting ready to go. I was feeling tired and I kept pushing through. And I was trying to go out to go for my daily walk like I normally did. And I got outside and I sat on the curb and I couldn't move. And I was having a hard time breathing. My body was aching, but I wasn't feeling like that the day before. So I'm thinking it probably was from the years. You know what I'm saying? Um, I was unable to get up to even walk 2 feet. And that's what told me something wasn't right with my body, because normally I was up walking like at 5:30 in the morning. And when I wasn't able to walk from my front door to the curb, I knew something was wrong. So when you think about it, this is something that had built up from years. But I kept pushing and kept pushing and kept pushing and not paying attention to what my body was trying to tell me. I was tired, but I kept going. So I went in and I called my son. I had my son to take me into the ER. I had pneumonia, meningitis at the same time.
What?
And I had let me backtrack for a second before I go further. I had previously, before in 2016, I flew down to Dallas. I have a cousin that lives in Arlington, believe it or not, in Dallas. I do have, my first cousin lives down there. And me and my mother flew down there. I was feeling fine. And when I got back home to my home state is when I started feeling really ill. So I'm thinking I contracted the meningitis in the airport, because I wasn't sick before that. I mean, I was in Dallas and Arlington having a good time. When I came back, all of a sudden it just really hit me really hard. And I called my son and asked my son to drive me into the emergency room because I couldn't even walk 2 feet. And I had contracted pneumonia, meningitis at the same time. And then they found out I had an autoimmune disease. At first, before I was diagnosed with the autoimmune disease, they didn't know exactly what I had. They didn't know exactly. They sent tests off after tests. So they thought it was cancer. They thought I needed a bone marrow transplant. They didn't know exactly what was going on, but they did know that I had meningitis and pneumonia at the same time. And I equate that to say that because sometimes go and don't stop and take time for yourself. When you actually take the time to sit down, that's when it falls down on you. And that's what happened.
Wow. So you just sat down on the curb and all of a sudden you say, I can't get up.
I no, I didn't say it. I couldn't get. I could not get up from the curb. I was having a hard time breathing. I could stand up to even walk back to my front door.
Were there any symptoms before that? Like, were you
No,
like,
no, that's what I'm saying. Because that's what I'm saying. When we don't take the time to listen to our bodies, this is what this is what happens when you don't take. Because I just kept going and kept going and kept going, and I was not taking the time to concentrate on me. I was trying to get out of what I was currently going through. Yeah.
right? So you're up all night on the computer getting all the information together,
Yes.
and then you sleep a couple hours, get up, walk. You know what I'm saying? You know, in
No,
your mind, you're doing healthy. You're being a healthy. You're just dealing with your issues, but you're doing healthy stuff though. So you might think
Yes.
that, oh, okay, I'm exercising.
Yes.
Not, you probably didn't think you were eating wrong. You know what I'm saying? You're probably eating.
Well, I wasn't eating wrong because at that time I was, like I said, Dr. Grimes is almost 70 years old, and he just won. He's been to the Olympics twice. He just actually broke the record in the Olympics. So he's a healthy person. So he started me to eat like that. I didn't think it was, not eating normal or not eating healthy. It was that I just wouldn't take the time to sit down. My normal sleep pattern still to this day. I only sleep maybe 4 hours a night. That's it. I'm up.
Right.
But when I would get up to try to go walk, I can walk 2 feet out of my front door. I knew something was wrong. I couldn't breathe. My chest was hurting. I wasn't even able to walk back to my front door.
Man,
So
that must have like scared the crap out of your son.
it did. And
you only have one child, right?
No. I have 3 children.
Oh man.
I have my oldest son. I have 5 grandchildren, and I have 2 boys and a girl. My youngest is 30 years old.
And he was the one that was at the house, or did you have to
No,
call him?
that's my daughter's 30 years old. My son is the one that took me to the hospital. He's the
Oh,
oldest.
but he
Yeah.
happened to be there at the house, or he had to drive over there and get you. You sitting on the curb for a long
He
time.
had to drive and pick me up off the curb. I couldn't come
Oh,
back in the house. Yeah.
oh man. Oh, how long did you have to sit there?
I sat there about 50. He's about maybe, he lives from maybe like 50, depending on traffic, sometimes 15 minutes. If traffic is heavy, maybe 35 to 40 minutes if traffic is heavy.
Wow.
So when he drove me to the hospital, I was diagnosed with pneumonia and meningitis at the same time. And, we all know there's more than one type of meningitis. And the one that I had was the different kind of, I didn't have the meningitis that a lot of people get. I had the viral meningitis.
Oh, you didn't get the bacterial one, you
I
had the
didn't
viral.
exactly. I had yes. So
And
that's
that is worse because you
yeah,
can't even, what can you take to like get over
yes,
it? Bacterial, you could just take some antibiotics.
yes.
Viral is like, man.
I didn't have viral. I had bacterial.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is I'm thinking when I got the meningitis, I don't know if I had to have it for a while. You got contracted in DFW. I don't know. I know when I got back home is when I found out I had it. And then they kept running test after test after test after test. And they thought I had cancer. They thought I had fatty liver disease. And they didn't know exactly what was going on with me. It took them I was in the hospital for 30 days.
You know what's so crazy is my stepfather, he had may he rest in peace. So he actually had HIV, and he had meningitis and made his brain swell.
Mm-hmm. That's the other kind. That's the viral. No, it's
Right.
bacterial. Bacterial.
He had
Yeah.
that one,
That's
but
the bacterial. I had the viral.
yeah, he had the viral meningitis. Yeah,
Yes.
made his brain swell. But meningitis also can make your brain swell in a bacterial form too.
Mm-hmm.
But thank God you were able to get
But to have that pneumonia at the same time is what I had.
right lung and brain.
Yes.
And then probably not get enough. You probably didn't even realize you wasn't even breathing right the whole time.
I did not. Honestly, I did not because, like I said, I was normally walking 8 miles every day. 8 miles every day.
You probably didn't feel short of breath or nothing like that.
I wasn't
right?
feeling short of breath until I took that step outside and walked 2 feet, and I couldn't do it.
Until it got too much. I guess whatever that bacterial load got too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel brain fog at all? Did you feel like you couldn't remember things at all? Were you feeling?
No, there was no brain fog or anything like that. It was just that when I went outside, I got short of breath, and my breathing was very labored, and it was like my body just started to ache all over, and I had to sit down. I couldn't get up.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So now I have to manage my diet, which I'm a vegetarian now, thanks to that. So that has helped tremendously in my days. That helps me a lot because before I went vegetarian, I would eat beef because I can process beef really good. I was always lactose intolerant, so I couldn't eat eggs and stuff. I had to eat it in moderation. Ice cream and stuff like that, dairy, I could not eat it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
It would have to be in moderation. But after I was diagnosed with what I'm going through now, Dr. Grimes changed my eating habits, and that's what made my illness take a turn. So now what happens is if I get and I try not to do that, and I haven't done it in a long time, if stress, I have an autoimmune disease come out. It comes out, it breaks out. So I can't be under any type of stress or any type of pressure.
How do you deal with stress now? Like, say it's like, or do you just walk?
I write and I walk and I pray. That's how I deal with stress because the writing helps me. I've gotten writer's block several times. And I pray, I meditate, read my Bible, and change my diet. That's how I deal with stress right now.
Right.
At one point I was weighing 180 pounds.
Wow. Where are you at now?
140.
Wow, you lost 40 pounds, you guys. Come on,
140.
You guys.
Yeah. And it's only because I changed my diet though.
Right, because you were walking already. You were doing exercise, whatever, but you didn't get down, right? So that's
Right.
something too, right?
Yes. So that's, and so writing it calms me and it helps me out a lot. It helps me quite a bit.
All right, so let's like get some last words. It's 2:04 minutes past 2 hours, 4 minutes past 2 hours. Let's get some final words about what just sum everything up into. Let's talk about the book. Let's talk about the health. Let's talk about the dealing with stress and how not to end up in a situation where you cause yourself pressure bust
Well,
pipes.
hold on.
Oh wait, hold on. Okay, Sugar Love got something.
Let's just get into you writing the book, looking for a publisher, and how you finally found. Because people really need to know, how that process goes. Because you got a lot of people, they may not know where to look or what to do, and how, when you said, "Hey, I finished this book," where did you go to? Where was all the no's at, or you couldn't do it when you first said, "I wanted to publish it," and how was that journey finding one?
Say that again, Sugar Love. Repeat that question. Statement again.
You know what?
The question.
When you first said, "Hey, I'm going to get this book published," what would all the no's look like to find a publisher? And then how did you go about staying sturdy with finding one, and how did that feel? But people don't know that you could publish a book. That we got a lot of young authors that might be watching this. So what was like some of the yays or the no's or the ups and downs of finding a publisher after you said, "Okay, this book is finished"?
The first thing I would say is to do your research, because the reason I say that is because after I wrote this book, I've been getting a lot of emails from other publishers. I don't know if they share a database or what the case may be, but first of all, find out where your niche is first to see exactly what type of book you want to write, because what's good for one is not good for all. Know exactly what you want to write about, know exactly what direction you want to go into, whether you want to do self-publishing or whether you want to have somebody publish it for you, because there's no one size fits all. That's what I would say. Number two, I felt I never got a no because I didn't research anybody before I wrote the company that I'm with now. I never got a no because I didn't, look into any other companies until I found this one. After the book was finished, I felt elated. I shouldn't say I didn't think it could be done. I'm going to say I was excited when it finally got done, because there was many nights I didn't sleep, because what I would go, and the reason I'm saying that is because what happened was when I would send out my daily quotes, if something would happen that particular night, it would make me go in a total different direction of what I want to tell people. So there was many nights I would say, this is not fit for this, or this is not fit for that. I would go back and change it. I was very elated when they actually said it was in print. When I went to do my book signing in April, I was more elated because I met some prominent people there, made a lot of connections there. And like I said, I'm working on my second book now, and I'm looking forward to the next book to come out. So the second book is going to be way better than this book here.
What's the title of your second book?
I'm not going to say right now.
Oh.
Because I don't want anybody to steal it.
Okay. But I just wanted to tell you, there's some things that you got to thank God. And, Dr. Grimes.
Say, every person in our nation has benefited from that work. Everywhere I go, I tell people, look, you may not be a union member, you better thank a union member. For the 5-day work week, you better thank a union member for sick leave, you better thank a union member for paid leave, you better thank a union member for vacation time.
I gotta cut the praise break down. I'm gonna get rid of like the just do the praise break.
Oh my God, I was all into that baby. Woo wee! Yes.
Thank God and thank the union members, thank everybody, because you know what, Jackie came through. All right, can't wait for the second book. You know what I'm saying? That's what I said. You know, she just gave her interpretation. Thanking the union members. We gotta thank. You know what? We gotta thank them. You know what I'm saying? Thank God. You know that you came through. Thank God that
Well,
you.
you tried to get this interview, but I ended up getting sick. Remember, I had a setback. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if
I'm here. Yeah.
and if you are able to spread word, let's get our girl Jackie on that list, right? On that top 20 list. Let's if you're able to share it or Christmas gifts is coming, get that book, and especially if you're an organization or something, order the books, give them out as little gifts because as I tell people, this is the type of book, a pocketbook type of book, right? So you never know where you're going to be or how your day is going to be. Once you flip through one of them pages, it's there for you. That is not the type of book to leave home. That is a book to keep with you at all times, just because it's short and it's sweet and it gets right to it. But if anybody would like to support, I believe they're going to drop the link to where you could get the book. Please support the book. Support our sister Jackie. You know, she done, how they say, she done came through the valley. She done came through the valley, baby. And she continues to regulate stuff, to fix stuff, and get stuff done, regardless of what is going on in her life. So hopefully you were inspired by, like I said, we don't have to necessarily say which pain it is, because even when you go to the doctor, you could still have the same signs and symptoms, but it could be something different.
Exactly.
But it's the same signs and symptoms, right?
Yeah.
A cough can mean 50 million things to a doctor.
Yeah.
Doesn't, right? So doesn't matter what it is. It's the fact that, like I said, it's the same signs and symptoms. So the doctor find out exactly what it is.
Thank you,
That's
Angela.
right. Keep your book in your wheelchair.
Thank you, Angela. I appreciate you. Thank you.
And you know, like I said, DJ be doing her thing, all these interviews, you know, and I'm glad that she invited Jackie up here to tell her story. I'm glad that we was ready to, you know, we was able to see a glimpse of it, of her process, and how she is going to take that, and look where she's going with that. Look where she's going. She's going to be the top selling book. But we got to get her there.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
So at any point in time,
thank you.
Drop
Pinky.
the link. Drop the link. Thank you, DJ. Drop the link.
She can drop my. I do have a website.
I put it on there.
She did, but put it on again. But she did put it up on there. She showed it to us.
Yeah.
Please, she's gonna drop her website. And if we don't support each other, who else gonna do it?
Yeah.
Who else gonna do it? Who else gonna do it? And I'm glad that we were able to, like, even down to DJ, we all was able to put ourselves in one part of her story. Yep, that part was me. 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 Right?
Oh yeah.
And listen, every day on Sugar Love's panel and as well as mine, when I go live, she's there to give like that knowledge, give that, you know, that encouragement. Cause I can't read it all because my glasses, I gotta get some new glasses. She be dropping gems. I'm like, I can't read. I can't see what's going on. I gotta get some glasses. So once I get my new prescription, I'll be able to read that and get the inspiration that she's giving me. Cause I'm like, man,
DJ, I got 100, damn near 100 pair of glasses. I lose them just that quick, right? I'm still, where my glasses? Nicole, I hate to say stuff because you know, y'all know that daggone Nick gonna get on you. Nobody is safe with Nicole, right? Nobody's safe with Nicole. You could be on mute and eating. She still hear you, right? She still hear you on mute, right?
And like I said, when y'all need to subscribe. If y'all not subscribed already, please subscribe because y'all gonna miss my morning things. And you know what? Even what
Oh,
I'm saying,
hold on. She got some good stuff coming up, right? She got a lot of good interviews set up, a lot of good things setting
Yes,
up.
she does.
If you are not
She
subscribed,
does.
hit that subscribe. Cause see, a lot of times, like I'm here for support. Sometimes I'll share it, right? So sometimes I might not share it. You're gonna have to be over here to watch it, right? So make sure you hit that like, comment, and subscribe. My replay gang. We thank you too for coming back to watch it. And if you are watching it, replay gang, if you didn't hit that subscribe, and make sure you definitely hit that like and leave some comments down below. If anything, any part of what she said you experience, you don't have to let us know the experience because it's the same signs and symptoms. Let us know you got something out of this, and let us know if you get the book, right? Let us know if you get the book. And please, on top of that, support the channel, right?
Thank you, Angela.
DJ go through a lot, right? She go
Yeah.
through a lot to make sure we stay informed. Her mind go 50 different places, but it's all for us, right?
Yes.
It's all for us. So if you don't want to, if you can't do it monetarily, hit the like. That's support. And write in the comments, it's support. Sharing, it's support. So just make sure that we keep uplifting each other and adjusting each other's crown.
Yeah.
Don't bring each other down. Adjust each other's crown.
That's right.
and also coming up soon, coming up on tomorrow, we have the Mighty Hebrew who is going to give a presentation. Discussing different subjects like the Mighty Hebrew is connected to Desdemona and Israel. And so it's good to get so I've been trying to really get some really interesting people.
Yeah.
Please go and look at Fundi Fee's live that she did yesterday. She dropped some gems there. She dropped some serious gems. And then tomorrow we have the Mighty Hebrew.
What time, DJ?
6 p.m. tomorrow. Al Nuke will be he has a movie called Botched that talks about butt implants and like implants and stuff like that. So he's a film director where he talks about implants and things like that. Then you can see his movie on Tubi. He's going to be interviewed on Monday.
Who is that? Who is that, DJ?
It's Al Nuke, the film director. He's a film director. He's actually also the manager of Zaytoven, but he's a film director as well. Zaytoven
What's the movie?
It's called Botched.
Oh yes, I saw that. I haven't looked at it
You
yet.
saw the movie? Yeah,
I haven't seen the movie yet, but I've seen the advertisement.
Yeah, so that's Al Nuke. He's a longtime friend of mine. We're going to be interviewing him on Monday at 6 p.m. Tomorrow,
his movie's on Tubi, right?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Okay.
And he has another one coming out called
watch the movie yet. Okay.
Yeah, so he's like a working film director. We need to support our Black film directors, so we're gonna be doing an interview with him on Monday. Okay. Then on tomorrow, Mighty Hebrew is gonna be giving a presentation about Desdemona. There's a whole civilization of Black people that have moved from the 60s over to Israel, and there's a whole community out in Israel. He's talking about he's gonna give a presentation about that. There's so many things that we probably don't even know about that's going on in the world. I'm trying to bring things. Next week we have another Babylal, but Joseph Baba Ifa next Saturday, and I'm doing a debate with on Sonetter TV.
Okay.
Don't worry, we will be double screaming. Like I said, I don't like a lot of the interviews and stuff, like certain things, but we will be just double screaming them. Okay. I might not be double screaming them all. And let's just hope I do not have to take my grandma's nap, right? Because I be thinking I'm gonna come on, and next thing you know, I'm out like a light, right? But like I said, it's a beautiful thing that we could come together and all, like I said, uh, be each other's therapy. We can
Mhm.
talk to each other. We can listen to each other. There is no judge. We're not judgmental, So I'm just thankful for that. All my chat members, y'all are terrible. Just want to let y'all know, right? Now y'all know I love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all. You know I love all of you guys. I'm glad that we have our own tribe, right? We might not
Yes, we
think
do.
about it, but we
But we
are a
do.
tribe. So
Okay.
like I said, kudos to Genesis for keep putting in that work, keep finding people to bring. And a lot of time people don't understand when she does do this, she could correct me if I'm wrong. She just likes to show people different
Yeah.
perspectives of
Yes.
things. But people think that it's an attack. It's not an attack. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not, that doesn't necessarily mean she believes in it, but the information has to come out, right?
Mhm.
So she goes out of her way to bring different people, different points of views, right? That doesn't necessarily mean she believe in it or don't, but at least give her kudos for bringing us information. I don't care if it's AI. I don't care if it's we a lot of time we take things and we thinking, well, this what she's about. No, that's not what she's about. She's
Right.
about bringing the information, and that's what I try to do on my page also, just bring you the information. It's so much out here in this world. A
Yeah.
lot of things we do not know. Does that mean we're going to agree with it? That doesn't mean she agree with it neither. But at least you know, right?
Mhm.
At least you know. Did you learn something new today? Like, we are starting to go in different directions. AI is taking over. I think she did something on that or whatever. I'm gonna have to
He
cover
did.
that too. But but please be a little gentle and sometimes just watch the information, right? Don't come at her, all the time thinking this is what. No, she just asks simple questions. She just goes
Mhm.
around and try to give us information because if we like if we don't get it, like, it's
Nicole.
so much to this world. So we got to give her applaud on that and pat her back that she care about the people. That, hey, I saw this. I think the
Mhm.
people should see this, right? Then you're gonna
Mhm.
form your own judgment on it, but not her. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
we throw it at her
I'm
all the time, but it's really you could throw it at the information. You don't have to
You're
agree with
right.
the information,
I'm
but
not
don't make it
I'm not
personal.
trying to push my thoughts on nobody. I'm just like, I didn't even know Islamic Taoism ever existed until I interviewed Fundipi. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it entailed. I listen, as much as you guys are learning when you see this stuff, I'm learning it too because I didn't even know they existed. When I even talk to the Baba Laos, I'm learning something too. So you have channels that might just talk about one subject all the time. And it might
Mhm.
be a very negative. I did not want this channel to be a negative thing. I wanted it to be something that inspires you, that
Mhm.
makes you go out and learn more things. You know what I'm saying? Things you probably didn't know. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That's what I'm about. And I'm learning too. I'm over here taking notes right along with y'all. That my new thing is I hope you're taking notes. And I hope y'all took notes today. You know what I'm saying? Go get the book. Go get the book. This channel is an inspirational channel to inspire thought, inspire people to think outside the box, get outside the
Yeah.
box.
Yeah.
When I go to the casino next week, I can't do it on Saturday, but on Sunday I might go on ahead and go to the casino with Nicole. I ain't gonna help me at first.
Oh
At
man,
first
that
uh,
Nicole strikes again,
you
right?
have to pay the penny
but
slot, and you won't have to pay for it. So give
but
me $1, and I'll pay for 100 times. So I'll do
Nicole
it 10
is the
times.
glue. She is the glue of the family.
Yes, she
She is
is.
the glue. Like, I know all of my people enough. Like, she's the glue. Like it got to the point. If Nicole is not, let's say she in a closet or she want to get funky sometime, do you know people where to go? Where to go? Where to go? I'll
Yeah.
be like, my goodness, they be attacking me. So I have to
Yeah.
be like, Nicole, please come out the closet. The people won't stop asking for you, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
everybody is special. But like I said, don't even me also. If I bring you information, right? You can talk about the information. Don't make it about me personally. I'm just bringing you information, right?
Yeah.
This is what's going on in the world. Like we have to stop thinking that everything where we at that's it.
Exactly.
That's it. No, that's not it. But I'm gonna go over some of them. I'm gonna be going over like Fundi. I done already. I did interview on Fundi already. That's why don't need to double screen it, right? But who knows what DJ's gonna think of? Whoever, I don't think she know, right?
Hey,
But,
listen,
but
I
if
got
you come
a surprise
across
for you.
something, huh?
A surprise for y'all coming up. If you like the Wu Tang, that's gonna be the next interview coming. I'm gonna say who, but there's gonna be
Oh,
a Wu Tang member coming.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. I, if you read in my mind, oh Lord, y'all better stay tuned for that one.
So I listen. This channel is going to continue to grow. It's going to continue like to be a beacon of light out here in this dark world of like YouTube, where people just want to talk about gossip and each other. I don't. I want this channel to be the difference that you see when you get tired of like listening to people bickering back and forth. You say, I'm tired of that. I'm gonna go over here and just watch something that has some substance to it. Uh, this is not a debate channel, so I'm not going to be doing debate. Even when I even debate with Sonetta, I'm not really debating. I'm going to be teaching something. So, like
Yeah.
this is about learning. This is about learning. Learning how to
Mhm.
like deal in this world, because as it changes, it's going to get more and more hectic, and we're going to need each other, and we're going to
Yeah.
need to hear from each other.
Well, DJ, what are you going to do? Because I don't know if you've seen the Oprah interview. I didn't see it, right? But you have to do another AI one
Oh yes.
or a couple of more because,
Mhm.
baby, I don't know if you've seen it. If you didn't see it, check it out, right? But we're gonna have to get more of that in because that's where we're going. I mean,
Yes.
that's where we at. I take that back.
We even
That's where
we
we're at.
we ended the
Yes.
Fuji one on AI, and she broke it down. Like you probably need to replay that one, Sugar Love, because she really broke down AI on that one. Like she broke it down into the feminine taking over the positive. That the AI was really a
She
masculine,
did.
a feminine thing. The masculine, like you program it, so it's really a feminine thing. But once no, it's a masculine thing. But once it becomes sentient or something like that, so it's deep. It's a deep
Mhm.
thing.
No, I interviewed her, but see, I interviewed her not once but twice. So I that's why I didn't double interview because it'd have been oversaturated. But yeah, you're
Well,
100%
you
right.
can do the
I wrote
replay. Just do the replay on your channel and do a commentary. 'Cause I think it was
I
interesting.
have it already, right? But I mean, from when I did it. But if you want me to, that is fine. But you still need to do
Yeah,
another
I'm
one,
gonna be doing
right?
another. Yeah,
Yeah, I think you have to do that because
Yeah.
that's where we at
'Cause
now.
that's where we are, and that's where we're going.
hmm and listen, we have to get into people like what I'm saying, Mister getting up on top of people and doing
Mhm.
their business. You know what I'm saying? And someone's like, oh, oh,
You know that damn DJ,
color purple style. You know what I'm saying?
that damn DJ boy. I can't take her at all. But
I'm done.
if you want to have Jackie, then today is your day. So we're gonna say
Oh,
that.
Michelle. Oh, Michelle.
You know what, girl? Bye. It was really Michael, but Michelle came out as my. I ain't messing with. I'm not messing with. Dude, I can't stand you. I swear you know
Oh my
But it is about Jackie today. So Jackie, do you have any last words So then DJ can close us out. Then I'm going to close us all the way out.
No, basically, what I want to say is,
Put the book in your hand as you're talking.
oh my God, no, I was going to tell you on the back. What I want to say is basically what my prayer says: are we committed to following our heart's desire? Are we making our dreams come true? We must decide for ourselves what we want for ourselves. The only thing that can stop our advancement in life is our not being ready to move. How you start is not how you finish.
Well, I think
That's my
that
final.
that Shay Shay finished pretty good.
Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Girl, all the way bye. He got there talking, coming out there smiling. I'm like, Ninja, please, you ain't proved nothing with your
How
orchestrated
he started
video.
was definitely not how he finished, honey. And he said, and she said, that's not how he finished.
That man,
It's not
that's
how
they said. That's they said.
Hey, what you gonna say? What should DJ do right now? Hurrah, hurrah. Take us out.
Girl, stop. Stop. That was disgusting. I can't like, oh Lord, no. But it was orchestrated very well, you know. Act like it was a mistake. No, you
That
did
wasn't no
that
mistake.
for a reason,
That wasn't
right?
no mistake. He
For a
trying to get
reason.
views.
So he was Michelle. I guess and I think that was also a dot thrown at Michelle Obama because remember when what's his name? He's calling Megan Good.
Oh
His
yeah.
Michelle. So
that.
now Shannon has his Michelle. You know what I'm saying?
I remember. Yeah. Well, that was my final thought. That was the final thought because you don't never know where our past may lead us. That was my final thought. And treat everybody like you want to be treated.
All right, go ahead, DJ. So I could take us out.
Alrighty. You supposed to have more energy. Come on now.
No, I thought you had last words.
You supposed to be okay.
No, I'm saying, do you have any last words so I can say them?
Oh, okay.
This is
My
your
last words are
okay.
Jackie.
Michelle. Wow, Michelle.
Oh, Jackie.
Bye. Jesus.
Commercial energy. Darling, let your spirit be free. Don't give up.
DJ,
Keep
take us
on
out.
pushing through. Now is the time. It's all up to you. Alchemize your energy, my friend. Let your spirit be free. Don't give up. Keep on pushing through. Now is the time. It's all up to you. No matter the storm, but over tragedy. No matter the storm, but over tragedy. No matter the storm, we will always take flight. Keep on pushing through the darkness of night. There's no limit, let's reach for the sky. Shine so bright from darkness to light.